man with all the answers.
Got no
Hopefully you
answers.
can give us someday.
Keeping all my secrets.
So what are you allowed to tell us about the
Next season, there are
You haven't told anyone.
teams, there are wolves.
Totally different.
Oh, yeah. Can you talk about the new villains?
Yes,
The Ghost Riders.
The Ghost Riders. It's a fun mythology. It goes all the way back to the European myths of the Woden times of the Doors song "Riders in a Storm." We caught on the Ghost Riders through teasing the Wild Hunt in season 5, throughout season 5 actually, and we knew we were going to come back to that. I think it's a great idea and a great myth for the season, and it's very integral to the plot, to the machinations of what happens between relationships, especially between Styles, Lydia Styles, and Lillian Styles. It makes them realize what their connections between each other are.
Off of that,
And they look really cool.
off of that, I think we all post questions on Twitter, and everybody wants to know about Styles and Lydia.
Yes. I can say, watch the trailer that we released today, and the first episode has a real moment that can tell you probably which way it's going.
And I have a question. Is Allison coming back? Because all the Brazilian fans, they are like dying to know.
No, well, she's dead.
Okay, yeah, but we never
Well,
know.
so was Kate, sort
I
of.
mean, yeah.
Yes. Well, we got to this point where like
Different.
bringing people back. And there are other shows out there that bring people back left and right. And if the story is right and if the moment is right, I'd absolutely consider bringing her back. Also, I'd have to talk to Crystal and see where her head's at. She came back for the Maid of Jevedon episode because it was a new twist. And we both really loved her coming back and being a part of the show again. And having her play a different character who was still related to Allison. It was a way of getting Allison back in the show.
Would that apply as well to Kira coming back possibly?
The door is always open, so we'll see.
I was going to ask about the Allison thing. Did you always know that was kind of a way you wanted to bring her back, or was that kind of something you guys toyed with in the writers' room?
No, we bounced it around in the writers' room, and it was actually Arden who inspired the idea of it because we had Arden play her own mother in World War II, and I was like, well, what if we brought Crystal back? What if she played the Maid of Jevedon? It would be fun. Would she be up for it?
Yeah.
And we kind of texted back and forth. And I called her on the phone and I said, I have just a very broad idea, but would you be up for it? And you could do a French accent. And she was like,
So about Arden Cho, like maybe a couple years ago, you were talking about maybe doing a spin-off.
Yeah.
Is that like dead now?
I don't know. I don't know what's actually. It's hard to say when something is dead. I've had projects resurface after years and years when I thought they were ice cold. And suddenly somebody wants to do it. It would depend on the network. It would depend on the studio, and obviously on Arden too. I love Arden to death, and she always looked so good carrying a sword.
Yeah.
And she was such a badass hero. We miss her in this season.
And also, like, so the last time we talked, Parrish didn't know what kind of supernatural person he was. When you eventually told him, what was his reaction?
I think he had guessed because he'd been looking online at all of the theories.
Okay.
And I did tell him one night, I talked to Ryan, here's what it is, and here's how it ties into the myth, and here's why you're sort of tied to Lydia as well, because they're both harbingers of death. I think he was most happy about the makeup.
I was happy about the lack of clothes.
I think a lot of people.
I was like, how do we do a hellhound?
Can you do more of that next season, please?
Well, his workout regimen is really hard. So he'd probably like a little bit less. Is there anything planned for your 100th episode? For what? For the 100th episode? I've actually taken a step back this season with the writing. Actually, with the next 10 episodes, I have to decide if I want to dive back in or let the writers continue on. I've been sort of more of an overseer in these last 10 episodes, because MTV has allowed me to take a step back and start rebuilding this thing called social life that I used to have. Personal life. I like being able to sleep in on Sundays now. Something I think every human should be able to do. It's a tremendous job with so much to do that it's often hard to think about the next 10 episodes.
Usually at the panels, you guys announce that the show is renewed. Did the network give you any information about possibility of?
I could tell you that the panel was before the press room. This year they put the press room before the panel.
Right. So we'll have to wait till.
I'll see you at the panel.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe we can get into the panel.
Pretty much confirmed.
I call that.
Yeah, it's a good
Mason was the Beast. How long did you know Mason was the Beast for?
Oh, right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
There was a little debate in the writers' room, but I was like, no, it's got to be Mason. I love Mason as the Beast. Also, because when an actor starts to bring in new qualities to their character, you want to give them more to do. And Kylan is so good, and he's funny, and he's talented, and he's smart, and he's ready for anything. So it was. If I could speak to actors in general, I would say you make your own opportunities. You get to tell the writers how much to write for you. So we wanted to do it for Kylan, just for Kylan.
This seems super exciting.
Yeah.
Be a part of this.
How's O'Brien doing?
He's good. He's recuperating. This is the first Comic-Con we've had without him, which is actually really sad. We wish he could have made it, but he wishes he could have made it. But it was a pretty bad accident. So he's still recuperating.
Are there any episodes that he's going to be missing from the next season?
You'll see.
Yeah.
So we did have to work around it.
And
They're working a whole movie around it.
yeah.